Did y'all see the crazy storyline between Carrington and Zay on Love After Lockup this week? If you did not, baby, have a seat because I'm going to break down all the tea, and this episode was crazy. Now, we seen on the previous episode that Carrington had got a call about Zay saying that he needed $300 so he could get the strikes removed and be able to be released from prison. According to him, he had got 3 more strikes and that stopped him from getting released, but paying someone would actually get those things removed before he went to court. Of course, we screaming from the outside telling this girl that this is a scam or something because, baby, that don't even make no sense. She asked her stepdad. Of course, he is saying he thinks it's a scam. She don't want to hear it because this is her man, her man, her man. Now, she does decide to go and talk to one of his sisters to see what's really going on as far as him getting out, if this is a scam, if she knows anything about this or what. Now, we know the sisters really don't mess with her at all, but she don't get the fact that they can't stand her. She's supposed to meet the sister at the house. She gets there and that sister's not there, but another one is. She's pretty much like, who are you? What's going on? She invites her inside and Carrington proceeds to tell her about Zay asking for the $300 and all of that. And the sister's like, girl, are you really this naive and this green that you don't understand that Zay is doing jail talk on you and trying to get money out of you, and that is all? Of course, Carrington doesn't want to believe her, and she starts to break down everything. She pretty much tells Carrington that Zay has had a DRUG problem since he was about 17 years old, and he is pretty much not to be trusted, so why is she trying to invest into this relationship? Carrington is shocked. She's like, but baby, he sent me $7,000 to take care of me and my daughter. So if he has a real problem, how is he making money behind bars? Of course, the sister can't answer that, but she says she knows her brother. Every time he calls on video chat, she can see that he is high as a kite. The sister is just trying to keep it real with her and giving her all this information as far as what Zay be into, what he's doing, and pretty much tries to deter her from trying to continue this relationship. When she leaves, she is completely shocked because, like I said, she had no idea this is going on. So at this point, their storyline is pretty much over. I think that is the last time they're going to be on the show because what else could she talk about other than an update? Now, the whole love triangle between Goddess, Bonita, and Momo is still all over the place. These girls still don't know about each other yet, but they both are getting suspicious. Now, Momo is at Bonita's house this day, and Goddess is waiting on him. She got his plate made. She calling him over and over and over. This man is not answering the phone. He is ghosting the hell out of her, and she's starting to get a little suspicious, like, where is he at? What is going on? Now, at Bonita's house, he has his family. He has his kids. Now, mind you, he said he has 4 kids by 4 different women. So he got a lot of making up to see these kids, and he also needs to learn how to wrap it up. He's ready to get to the storage unit. Of course, he keeps telling Bonita, and she's trying to change the subject because, mind you, she did sell all the $100,000 worth of stuff for about $17K because she needed that money. Now, Goddess is still trying to reach him, and he actually answers the phone because he has been ghosting her all day, and he knows he got to make up some kind of story. He tells her that he's with his kids and his mom, and he's doing tea parties and doing all this stuff with his kids. Now, mind you, this is before his family actually gets there. So he was just actually kicking it with Bonita that whole day until the kids and the family got there. So that was a complete lie, other than Bonita's kids that was there. She's trying to FaceTime him, and he's like, oh, he can't hear her. The phone is breaking up. He can't answer FaceTime. Just giving this lady the runaround. She gets off the phone with him and she is starting to get suspicious. She said that she thinks he has something going on with Bonita because there's no way that he's disappearing and not answering her call. Now, over at Bonita's house, he said he has a toothache and he's going to urgent care. Of course, he is setting up the storyline for both of these girls. He tells her that he's hurt or whatever. She says she goes to take the kids to school and he's gone when she comes back. And then, of course, not answering her. Once he gets to urgent care, he actually calls Goddess and asks her to come pick him up. She's like, no, get home however you got there. So he gets an Uber home or whatever, and he's like, watch my magic. I'm going to go in there and talk to her, and it's going to be all good. Of course, he's trying to tell her he's been at urgent care all day. He has his medication, trying to convince her that that's where he was. He wasn't hanging out with Bonita. Of course, she kind of forgives him as he's trying to kiss her and stuff. She's not trying to have it because she's still suspicious that something's going on. Both of these women are starting to think something's going on. Bonita says she thinks he's trying to play her for a fool, and she will drive around the whole goddamn city till she put him on blast and figure out where he is. Now, Dia and Cyrus are going to see his probation officer, and he finds out that he cannot parole to her home. He has to stay at home with his mom. Now, I think he knew this, but he didn't want to tell that girl that because he's still trying to mess with her or whatever. She has like a whole crash out moment. This lady is so emotionally unstable. She calls her kids and she's telling them what's going on and saying how him and her is going to the hotel and they're about to get in the hot tub, and the kids is looking like, ma'am, we do not want to know that. That is TMI for them kids. She's also talking about how she's going to protect her kids and she's such a great mom, but yet you're bringing your second felon into the household with your children. Make it make sense. Now, Felicia and Rich are going on a first date alone, and he is so excited. They get in the car to leave, and she asks him to pull over. She runs in the house to go get her cousin. This man is so confused. The cousin gets in the car like, okay, I'm ready to go. And he's like, go where? I thought it was going to be me and you, Felicia. And she's like, oh, no, we're going to make it a double date. We're going to have fun. You're going to call your friend. So they pick up his friend or whatever, and they go down to Bourbon Street. Now, at first, they're having fun and everything, and then she sits down to talk to a psychic and have her cards read, and that's where everything turns. The psychic pretty much tells her that something from her past is going to come up and giving her like all this random stuff, and she somehow transfers that to Rich and says that he's going to be a problem, and she thinks that it's about his divorce and all this other stuff. She starts confronting him, saying that she wants to see the divorce papers, and she wants to make sure he's divorced and just going in on him. Now, mind you, they are all drunk. They going back and forth arguing on the street, and she's trying to walk away, so he grabs her arm to try to talk to her, and here comes the cousin running up, pushing him, saying, don't put your hands on her, we about to leave, we leaving. And it is like a hot mess production, everybody trying to like scramble and calm this situation down. Then it cuts off. When they come back, they're all in the hotel room sleep. Rich, the cousin, and Felicia, all in the same bed together. What? Now, he wakes up. They're pretty much saying they don't remember what happened. I guess they worked it out because everybody was drunk. They made it back to the room and everything's all good. These two going to be so toxic in this relationship. It is just too much going on. Now, the cousin leaves or whatever. She does tell her to look into Rich and get some information as far as this marriage. She wants her to dig up something to show that either he is married or isn't married so she can move on with this relationship. And Rich has no idea. I don't think these two are good for each other, and I don't think it's going to last very much longer. Now, that's a breakdown of this episode. Thank you so much for watching.